Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Red and Gold Standard Podcast. My name is Zach Hernandez, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Mike Andrews of Nothing But Niners. Our guy, Matt Llewellyn, will be joining us shortly. He's putting the kids to bed. But until then, it is yours truly and my guy, Mike, will be previewing the 49ers Buccaneers Week 6 matchup in Tampa. Before I toss it over to Mike, if you guys are watching on X, do us a solid, hit like and repost. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid, hit like and subscribe. Make sure you're subscribing to both channels, 49ersHive and Nothing But Niners. We really appreciate you guys' support. Hop in the chat. We want to hear your guys' thoughts. 49ers sitting at 4-1, tied for the best record in the NFL. Wild to say with how beat up we've been, how the way this year has gone, and yet they are still competing for the best record. We saw the last of the undefeateds fall Sunday night, I guess, right? Sunday night. So with that said, tune in, hop in the chat. We want to hear your guys' thoughts. Mike, how you doing?
All is well, man. Tonight was my bowling league night, man. I went out there. We had a really, really good time. Made some adjustments, got my balls. That sounded bad. Got my bowling balls adjusted. I told you guys about my thumb issues that I've been having, so I took it to the pro shop.
Yes.
They drilled the holes wider for me and everything. They did some filing and all that stuff. And I can tell you guys that I made it out of there basically pain-free. So the thumb is working a lot better for me. So I'm ready to go ahead and turn this thing up, man, starting next week. You know, tonight was a little iffy. You know, you're bowling like worried about re-injuring something.
Right.
And so now I understand what the Niners players are going through. Not that bowling is as physical as football, right? But when you have an existing injury and you're worried about messing up those tendons over, you kind of go out there a little hesitant. It wasn't until, you know, halfway through the second game and I was like, all right, you know what? Everything's going to be okay. I've put some pressure on it. And, you know, you're ready to get back out there and get to it. So if today was an injury report, it would have been limited participant. Next week, I expect to be a full go.
Yeah, well, good. I'm glad to hear. I know last time we talked about it, it was like, oh, I might have to retire entirely. So big change from never picking up a bowling ball again to, oh, they were just able to widen the hole on my bowling ball, and we're all good. Glad to hear, Mike. Glad to hear.
Mike's thumb day to day. Yeah, man, that's how I was, but I'm back, baby. I'm back.
That's funny. Scotty D, he really is putting the kids to bed. So he's got two daughters, both, I want to say, under 4. How old's Emmy now? She's got to be about 4.
Yeah, I think she's 3, right?
3, yeah. So
is she 4 already? I don't think she's
not.
4.
Maybe 3.
Close.
3 sounds about right. It goes by so quickly, and just from afar, it's like, what do you mean she's already a toddler? She's already walking around. It's insane. So he'll be joining us shortly. He didn't want us to wait, so we kicked off the show, and he will join, like I said. So, like I said to start off the show, the 49ers take on the Bucs. They travel to Tampa. Mike, is it just me, or it seems like Cleveland and Tampa are the two places the 49ers have to go almost every year, no matter what?
It does feel that way. It's funny because my daughter was like, "Is this the game that we went to?" I was like, "No, it was Jacksonville." You know what I mean? Like, it's like we're always in Florida at least every year. It feels like, and then Cleveland. Like, we got to go there later this year, right? So you know, it's like it's just always a thing for us. I don't understand it. When do they get to come to our house? But it's all good. The Niners seem to be playing better on the road. Our only loss this year is at home. So you know, I mean, we got the extra time in. We're going to get to all that. We got the extra time, almost a mini bye week, and, you know, some more rest and relaxation for some of the guys who clearly need it. And their thumbs, so to speak, are getting better, and we'll see how it all pans out.
Yeah, man. The 49ers needed this rest, and here I was thinking that it would be a big change, I guess, for them to get healthy. But, boy, this injury report is not promising. And, you know, we won't delve into it. Well, I guess we'll delve into it, and Matt can share his thoughts when he gets here. But look at this thing, Mike. I mean, I pulled it up here. Let me make sure the screen. Okay. So you know what? Let me zoom in. I always forget. On X, you guys can barely see. So here we go. So starting from the top, Robert Beal did not participate with an ankle injury. Kendrick Bourne, full participant with a rib injury. I didn't even know he was hurt. Alfred Collins did not participate. He has that sprained knee. Kalia Davis, he broke his hand, limited participation. I thought he was going to miss some time. Apparently not. Or I guess we'll see, but he's at least limited in practice. Kevin Givens, which is big, he was limited. I think they opened his practice window, correct? So he just came
Correct.
back
Yep.
first day. Yatur Gross-Matos did not participate, has a knee and a hamstring. Dude messed up both sides of his leg, apparently. Jawan Jennings did not participate, ankle and rib. Mac Jones, limited with a knee and oblique. I'm surprised there's not like 6 other injuries here with the way he was beat up Thursday night. Christian McCaffrey had a vet day. Thomas Morstead, full participation. Apparently he has a back injury. Malik Mustafa, they also opened his practice window today. And he was a full participant, which is great, coming back from that knee cleanup that he had. Ricky Pearsall did not participate with a knee injury. Brock Purdy did not participate with his toe injury. Upton Stout was limited with an ankle injury. Jordan Watkins did not participate with a calf injury. CJ West was limited with his thumb injury. And Trent Williams also had a vet day. Before I get your thoughts, let's get the Bucks. Less names, but still beat up. Levante David, knee limited. Jamel Dean, corner, limited with a hip. Mike Evans did not participate with a hamstring. Chris Godwin did not participate with that fibula. Chris Godwin played, so they might just be like, this might be like a plan to limit his practices to get him brought up to speed. But he did play since returning from injury, if I remember correctly. Unless that's a new injury, but it says fibula. I'm pretty sure that's what he snapped. Bucky Irving did not participate with the foot and shoulder injury. Christian Isian limited, the safety with a quad injury. Zion McCollum did not participate with a thumb injury, their corner. Benjamin Morrison, fellow corner, did not participate with a hamstring injury. And tackle Tristan Wirfs was limited with a knee injury. Mike, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, man. The Niners having 18 people limited or, on their injury report is pretty freaking impressive. I mean, when you consider that there's 22 starters, and I think all except 2 are major contributors, right? I mean, Jordan Watkins, we haven't seen him all year. He's the one. And then the other guy would be Kevin Givens, who just came back, right?
Beal, I guess.
I'm sorry, Kalia Davis, I mean. Beal. Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's a lot of names on this list, and most of them are starters. But it is good on the positive side to see Malik Mustafa back in there. And then the Bucks, man. When you look at their list, they've got 4 people who are major contributors who did not participate in this game. I don't expect to see Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, that calf. That's the calf bone. That's the fibula. That is something that they're going to have to be careful with. Then there are 2 corners who didn't participate because of a thumb, which is kind of odd, right? They can club that up and, get out there. I'm surprised he didn't participate at all. I'm surprised they didn't wrap it up and just see what he can do. And then the other corner, Morrison, with the hamstring. So, I mean, it's not that they're as injured as us. If it weren't for the Niners list being as long, this would be a significant list, just looking at it on its own. So this is going to be a battle of attrition and backups. I mean, we got to see what happens, I was on earlier with Wayne today, and we were talking about the long list of injuries for the Niners. And I said, I'm no longer going to look at it as a negative. I'm going to look at it as a blessing because the Niners have had to tap into the depth so much. All these people being limited or not participating just gives more valuable reps to the backups, and odds are we're going to end up needing them. So I'm not going to look at it as a negative anymore.
Right, and that's a great way to put it. We got a super chat from our guy Scotty D. Baker 0-4 versus SF. He played on 3 different teams, but always loses to SF. Make it 0-5. Damn. Thank you, Scotty D. Great comment.
Can I boo Scotty D? Can I boo him real quick? I'm going to do it anyway. Now, Scotty, let me explain why I'm booing you. It's a great comment. Fantastic. But this feels like one of those jinxes where
right.
This kicker is 100% on these from between 30 and 39 yards, and then he just pulls it, and it's wide. Yes, it's true, but these are the things you don't want to say. If you're superstitious like I am, every time it's like, yeah, Right. And so like this one's like, oh man, like not already, like not so early. But thanks for the super chat. We sincerely do appreciate it. I just talking a little bit of trash to you, buddy. But like last week, not last week, I'm sorry, the Jaguars game, I was talking with Wayne, and he was like, oh man, Kyle hasn't lost to them in so long and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, like don't do that. He's like, oh, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. And I'm like, okay. All right, fine. You don't believe it, and then we end up falling to the Jaguars, right? It's just one of those like football things in particular when they say it right before it never works out in our favor. But we do appreciate the super chat again, and I hope that your wish at the end is accurate. I hope that we make it 0-5. So let's go Niners.
Scotty says, just try to get super chats going for y'all. we appreciate it. Of course we appreciate it. We're just saying.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you, Scotty. Also, you didn't mention Mike. Bucky Irving is likely not going to be there for the Bucks for the second week in a row. Now I'm saying all this. They did go into Seattle and knock off the Seahawks without Bucky Irving, without Mike Evans. They were a beat up Bucks team and went in there and put up 38 on the road versus the Mike McDonald Seahawks defense. So, kudos to them. We'll see if they can continue that trend versus the 49ers this week at home. I guess we'll see. Going back to this injury report, another way to put it, Mike, you were saying how the injuries allow for these, lesser known or rookie players or players that wouldn't have played otherwise. If Kalia Davis doesn't break his hand last week, who knows if Alfred Collins is in on that goal line scenario to punch that ball out? Because they play the same spot. Kalia Davis was getting the bulk share of the reps, and Alfred Collins was still kind of earning his keep and getting in there. Once Kalia Davis got injured, which I believe he didn't come back after halftime, Alfred Collins was like, all right, you're up, dude. Like, you're up, next man up. We got to have you play in there the rest of the game pretty much. And sure enough, he goes in there. I cannot stop watching that replay. I know we did the Rams recap already, but you cannot time a punch more perfectly than that, and to perfectly get it right on the ball. I know Rams fans are like, "Oh, he grazed his face mask." It's hard to hold onto a ball when you get ducked in the face. Come on, man. You're wearing a helmet.
Well, I think what their biggest complaint was, there was no flag, right? But he's not a quarterback. You're allowed to hit the helmet. You're not allowed to grab it. And
it's incidental contact.
Exactly. So they got to stop crying about that kind of stuff because it's not going to save you. It was not a penalty worthy play, and so they got to let it go, right? And so this is kind of what I was talking about. Never mind. I'm not going to say when I was talking about it, but this bodes well for this draft class. Mm-hmm. I want to go out and I want to go on a limb here and say our first 5 picks have all contributed in a major way to a win. You know what I'm saying? And then you add in Huff. So week 1 was that beautiful play by Nick Bosa at the end of the game. Week 2, it was Huff. Week 3, if I'm not mistaken, it was Mykel Williams. Right?
Week 3 was Cardinals?
Yes.
And Stout.
Yes. And
Stout had that pass break up at the end.
Yep. Stout had a PBU. Right. And now you got the rookie and Alfred Collins coming in there. You even had on that 4th and 1, no one is talking about him, but Siegel came in. So when they held them up, when they held the running back up, when they held up Williams, Siegel's the one that came in and kind of pushed the pile backwards to make sure he didn't fall forward. And then the rest of the guys came in and piled up there. All of these rookies are contributing in major ways when the game is on the line, right? Like these rookies, this draft class is really coming in and paying dividends early in the season because of these new opportunities presented to them. These guys don't get this experience without this plethora of injuries that the 49ers are having right now. So not that it's a good thing, but it's the injuries I'm talking about, but it's a great experience for these young players, and it's teaching them to win gritty. These are games that the Niners don't always go out there and win. You know, like the Niners are used to blowing teams out, or the close ones we lose by a hair. We're finding ways to win. I think our biggest margin of victory was like 5 points this season or something like that. Like we haven't blown anybody out. We haven't blown anyone out. So they're going out there and they are winning the gritty games, and I love to see it.
And not only that, if you go back to the Jags game, Upton Stout, who got the one interception on the year, Upton Stout, that got called back by a BS PI call. That would have been a huge game-changing play. So I agree with you, Mike. All of the rookies on defense have made huge plays to put the 49ers in position to win. Unfortunately, that one got called back, but every game they've showed up. We got a super chat here from our guy, Aldo Valle. I honestly don't think Baker got what it takes to beat us, especially after hearing he can be the QB MVP. I mean, he's playing as good as anyone right now. I see our guy Matt is in the waiting room. Matt, are you good to come in? All right.
What's up, fellas?
How you doing?
Oh, got daddy-daughter duty tonight, so, just getting her a bath, some books, all that good stuff before she goes to sleep.
There you go. We were just going through the injury report. It's quite lengthy for the 49ers, unfortunately.
Tale as old as time.
In case you haven't seen it. But it's just it's hefty. And the Bucs, to be fair, have some notable players on their own that aren't practicing, including Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Zion McCollum. Tristan Wirfs was limited. So it's possible the 49ers can take advantage of these injuries. We'll see. How are you feeling about this game? They get Malik Mustafa back, Matt. I don't know if they're going to get Ricky Pearsall, Juwan back. I guess we'll see.
You never want
chat,
to.
guys.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
You never want to say, you're punting on a game, but this is almost as close as you can get. I think that they're going to hold out all of these guys that are marginal injuries or anything like that and hold them out. It's a tough ask to beat Tampa, even at full strength. They're a really good team. Baker's playing at an MVP level. Looks really good. They clearly drafted well with Emeka Egbuka, who's been fantastic. So it was always going to be one of the tougher games on the schedule. And then you add to it the fact that the 49ers do just have this litany of injuries, and it's going to be tough, man. They have a good run defense, and we're not going to be able to run the ball. Is Mac going to be able to throw to Demarcus Robinson and Kendrick Bourne? I mean, is that really going to get the job done? It remains to be seen. Maybe you can lean on Jake Tonjes a little bit, but the 49ers have gotten pretty fortunate in some of their games that things just kind of went right for them, particularly in the Rams game. The Rams are driving in for essentially the kill shot, right, to put the game away. And Alfred Collins just happens to, I'd like to say peanut punch, but he kind of punched Kyron Williams on the side of the head first. Like, it was, I don't know. He threw the knockout blow, and then the hand just carried through. But without that, you're looking at, a completely different game. And then there was just some other stuff that happened during that game where, again, you look at it and do they have, what it takes to overcome a Bucs team with all the deficiencies they have? So the one loss that they have is to the Jags, who just beat the Kansas City Chiefs. That was like a better game. But I don't think the 49ers have been able to put their A product on the field all season. So you can't keep doing this. Do you bring the guy back and then he gets hurt again? And they've done that a couple of times, particularly with Jennings and Pearsall, and then obviously with Brock Purdy, who's going to be out for probably a couple more weeks, I would imagine. You got to let these guys heal. You're 4-1. You probably didn't expect to inside the building be 4-1, no matter what they'll tell you. You got to take advantage of the fact that you won some games. So it's not necessarily punting on the game, but they're definitely going to be holding back some of their more injured guys, because you can't just trot everybody out there half wounded and expect to compete later in the year. It's time to get these guys a little more healthy.
Okay. Scotty D, we got a super chat. How about this instead? How huge is it that the game is being pushed to the second window as a West Coast team? Yeah, this was initially a 10 a.m. game since it is in Tampa. They moved it to 1 p.m. And also Tony Romo and Kevin Harlan will be calling this game. It is on CBS. It's one of those rare
Jim
NFC,
Nance.
Sorry, thank you, Jim Nance. One of those rare NFC games that's on CBS. Usually NFC sticks to Fox, AFC sticks to CBS. But this was
I heard they all
CBS.
bid on the games. Like they'll bid on games. That's why sometimes you'll see the 49ers typically have like one or two that's on CBS, and it's not necessarily against AFC opponents. Yeah. It's weird how they do it.
Right. Might as well get to this comment here. Do you think we got a first interception first or first rushing touchdown first? I feel like the easy one is the rushing touchdown, in my opinion, but I don't know. They've been able to pick Baker off last couple times.
Yeah, I actually think the interception is probably more likely because I think the Bucs are first in rushing defense.
They are, yeah. 27th versus the pass, by the way.
Yeah, so they're first in rushing defense, and we're near the bottom in terms of rushing offense. So doesn't seem like that's going to be a good matchup. But stranger things have happened. So,
Mike.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the interception also. Our secondary, which is oddly enough, like it seems to be our strength of the team right now. So I'm liking our odds on getting the interception before the rushing touchdown. And hopefully we win this coin toss and we start on defense and we get it on the opening drive.
Although Kenneth Walker was able to get him 10 for 86 with the long of 31. Zach Charbonnet 9 for 36. That's wild. But he did get in the end zone once. Sam Darnold gashed him through the air. 28 for 34, 341. 4 touchdowns, and the soul-crushing interception right as to lose the game, basically. So their defense kind of got gashed last week. We got another super chat here. Let me see. I just passed it. Aldo. Second one. Thank you, Aldo. Our team has a history. We are actually the last of a dying breed. We leave everything on the field. Ask Kittle, Warner, shit, even Tart. I don't know about Tart there, but I agree with you.
Well, he may have left everything on the field, but the last time I saw him at the 49ers game, he certainly didn't leave anything on the plate. That boy has been eaten. Let me tell you something. I kind of agree with that to an extent. I mean, I guess there was some hullabaloo. Brian Baldinger, was pointing out how on a touchdown or whatever, or fumble against the Jags, the Travis Hunter one, that the defensive line didn't really hustle, but it was kind of in slow motion. It's certainly nothing like Chris Jones for the Chiefs the other day on that Trevor Lawrence yakety sacks, fall on the ground, stumble around, run in for a touchdown, where Chris Jones just didn't do anything. He just stood up and was like, whatever. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. It looks like
that why he deactivated?
Probably.
Oh, I didn't even
Have you seen it, Mike?
Yeah. I didn't see the play or anything like that, but I saw a post earlier talking about how he deactivated his social media accounts.
Yeah, man, he literally barely engaged in the block. And you saw the play, right? Lawrence fell down, tripped on his center, got back up, ran around, bootleg left. But after he disengaged from the block, he just stood there.
He had an angle. He probably could have gotten to Trevor after he got back up. I mean, he was the only one that probably could have, if anyone.
My man didn't even take 2 steps.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got another.
And he's always in the face of. Sorry.
No.
Oh, I was gonna say he's always in the face of his fellow defensive players when they don't hustle and stuff like that. So
did you see him going at Karlaftis in the preseason?
Yeah.
Telling him you don't do shit.
Right. That's kind of his thing, though. It's right, and I kind of like that from a defensive leader, right? You want to motivate other people and hold them accountable, right? But then you do something like this, and now you deactivate your social media. You can get in everyone else's faces, but you can't take it from the fans.
Soft.
Like, dude, what are you doing? Just don't respond. What are you deactivating your social medias for? That's a bit much. So it's whatever.
Delvin Thomas, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I just want to show some respect and love. Our defense got a belly rub on national television. All right, I'll take it. I don't know about that second one, but I'll take it. I miss Pink October in the NFL. They switched it to all cancers, and I feel like it's like when everything is important, when you highlight everything, the entire page, nothing is highlighted. It kind of lost its meaning, in my opinion.
Yeah, when everyone wins, no one's good. It's one of those things, yeah.
Yeah.
Get back to Pink October. Okay, so like I was saying, the Bucs have the 27th ranked passing defense, but they do have the number 1 ranked running defense, and their 2 linebackers. I just had the tweet up right here. Here we go.
So I thought they had the 8th ranked running defense. Is it 1?
The stat I saw today was they were number 1 against the run.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Maybe that's incorrect, but that was the stat I saw. Let me see if I could find it here. Of course, when I search Bucks versus run, nothing comes up. But
I'm going to pull up the NFL rushing
Okay.
stats by team, so I'll tell you.
their linebackers, I think, are to be had in coverage. Shout out to Sterling Bennett of 49ers Access has these stats put up here. Let me pull them up that way the chat can see them. Levante David has a 39.7 coverage grade, 7th worst among linebackers, allows 118.9 passer rating, allowed 18 receptions for 164 yards, 82 yards after the catch, 3 touchdowns. I assume that's Servassier, Dennis, 28.2 coverage grade, worst among linebackers, allows 133.2 passer rating, 21 receptions, 331 yards, 251 of those yak, and 1 touchdown. This screams like a 12 reception game for Christian McCaffrey, in my opinion.
Or George Kittle, right? But he's not in there, so
Right.
And I looked it up by yards based off of 2025, and the Bucks are 9th.
Okay, so
Rushing yards,
by yards
allowed by defense. Now, I'm trying to figure out how they could be first. None of these categories do they qualify as first. So I don't really know. Yards per carry? No, the Browns are number 1. Rushing touchdowns allowed? No. I don't know. I don't see it there, so it's weird.
So this Hayden Winks has them the number 1 ADOTK. I'm trying to remember acronyms really quickly. Tackle for loss rate, 22%. Average depth of, I have no idea. Matt, any idea what that stands for?
Average depth of tackle. So tackle
There
for
you go.
loss. That
Thank
makes
you.
sense.
I was thinking
There
2
you-
words. So 3 yards with a 22% tackle for loss rate. And
Yeah.
on the flip side of this stat, the 49ers, unfortunately, I had this chart up here, have the most runs that have been stuffed. Negative run rate percentage, the 49ers are 32nd with 16.55%
Pretty bad.
of their runs get stuffed. So very quickly, or very often, I should say, Christian McCaffrey and or Brian Robinson are being met in the backfield before they even get back to the line of scrimmage. I mean,
I would like to point out that the bottom 5 in that are all winning teams. Just to point that out, though.
that is strange, yeah. Where are the Bucks on here? They are
12.41
21st.
right already. Mhm.
Yeah. So they're still bottom 3rd of the league. Take of that what you will. My main concern, I guess, obviously aside from Baker Mayfield, Emeka Egbuka. The dude is legit. He is torching every secondary he's gone against for the most part. I think that the 49ers secondary is going to have their hands full. Now, I say this, but I also thought they'd have their hands full with Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. I think they kind of held them relatively in check. And they do get Malik Mustafa back. How concerned are you guys about Egbuka and him going up against our secondary?
It's really going to depend because you kind of got to pick your poison, right? Because they still have Ottman. They have a recovering Chris Godwin. Of course, they don't have Mike Evans, but there's a lot of tools around there. And it just depends on how the Bucks approach this because they know, just looking at the tape, that Diamador Lenore is not going to follow Egbuka across the formation. So do you decide that you want to pick on Renardo Green or pick on Upton Stout, or do you keep him on the side of Diamador Lenore? Do you put him on a side with Siegel, who definitely plays like a rookie at times and definitely will give up some mistakes in coverage? That's going to be the key for the 49ers to stop them. They've done pretty well against a couple of other people, but you can't just, I don't know. Like really outside of Matt Stafford, they haven't really played a ton of people, and I do want to say they are kind of the reason that Brian Thomas doesn't look quite as crappy right now, because they let him get going early too. So man, we always see that with the 49ers where they're just like, it's like, man, why do you not, like week one, it's like all Seattle has is Jackson Smith and Jigba. And guess who got like 140 yards receiving against the 49ers? Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think last week was more outlier than anything. They like to give up targets to the top guy for whatever reason.
It seems like they feel like they can get away with it and still win. Mike, please.
I was going to say they minimized it. So I think the best receiver that we've played so far was Puka Nacua. I think if you look at all the teams that we've played, and yes, he had the 10 receptions, right, but it was only 85 yards. Like, he didn't have anything huge, right? In fact, Devontae Adams, with half the receptions, had the most yards, right? So that one big play that he had, and that put him over the top, he finished with 88 yards. But Puka Nacua finished with 85 on double the amount of receptions. And I think that's what the Niners kind of mentality is with the secondary, right? Like, they're going to target who they want to target, and we don't move our corners. We're going to make them throw. Like, if teams are going to move their best wide receiver to the left side of our defense, which is going to be away from our best corner, then that person's getting double teamed. So you're either putting your guy up against the Niners' best corner, or you're going to throw him in a double coverage. You pick your poison there.
So I wasn't here for the recap of the Rams game, but I do want to say that I don't think the Rams game is the best example to use about how the 49ers can control receivers, because the Rams had almost 400 yards passing. So, like, that's cool. Like, Puka Nacua had 10 catches for 85 yards, but also they let Devontae Adams get 88 on 5. They let Tutu Atwell again behind their defense 2 times that I saw. They averaged 7.1 yards per play. Like, again, this is what I was talking about, that the 49ers were very fortunate that kind of miraculous things happen, right? Like, you get the punch to the head of Kyron Williams. You get another, like, couple of Kyron Williams drops. There were a couple of drops out of the backfield that he had when he was like wide open and would have had a lot of yardage. It was just little things like that where the 49ers took advantage of that fortunate, circumstance to do something. But I don't know, man. I haven't been super impressed with the secondary so far, and I think that a lot of it has been bailouts in a lot of ways, and mistakes, just mindless mistakes by other teams. But I don't know. I can't hang my hat on confidence in the 49ers secondary to contain Egbuka when the example being used is Puka Nacua in a game where the Rams threw for almost 400 yards. I don't know. That's just me, though.
I mean, it took almost 50 passing attempts to get there. So, I mean, I think that's the kind of game you want to play, right? If the opposing team has to throw the ball almost 50 times, then, you're going to they're going to get yards. If they abandon the run, they're going to get yards.
Overtime.
You know what I'm saying? Right, and it was an extra inning. Yeah, quarter. So they're gonna it's gonna happen like that. It's gonna balance itself out. Yards per attempt. The Niners are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th overall. So as good as the Bucs defense is against the run, that's how good the Niners defense is against the pass. And so that's just yards per attempt, right? That's where the Bucs were. They were ranked 8th in total yards. So it's the same thing for the Niners here.
We got a super chat from Sean. I think Big Al is going to be a beast. He plays mean and angry, kind of like Matt when you put down McCaffrey, although he's still a washed RB as an RB LOL.
That's funny. Bro, he's on pace for 1,000,000. If he gets 1,000,000, you definitely cannot call a man washed.
And the receiving thousands, like he's on pace for like 1,600 receiving yards or something crazy like that.
Is he on pace for 1,000 rushing yards also?
I mean, he's only
like 58 yards a game. So
he's on pace for like 950.
Yeah,
but like he's not. He's going to have games that are bigger than the one. Like, he's had probably the worst rushing start to his career that he's ever had. He's only averaging 3.1 yards per carry. And again, like Zach said, that the offensive line is not blocking. They get blown up in the backfield. I think he's one of the highest running backs in the NFL in terms of percentage of yards rushed after contact.
Yeah.
So he's getting yards after contact. And if you honestly look at him receiving the ball and don't think that he has burst when he's in the open space, like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, he was never like this blazing fast home run threat. Like that's not who he's ever been. We've seen him even in 2023, the year that people say, oh, like was his watermark year with the 49ers, which is true. How many times did we see him break a 60-yard run and then get tackled from behind? Because he doesn't have breakaway speed. He's got short area quickness, and that's what you need from him. Short area quickness, good contact balance. And it's like, when you're not getting blocked for, that's what's going to happen. So I think that once Kittle comes back, it's unfortunate to say, but for whatever reason, Kittle seems to ignite the run blocking a little bit. Kind of just sets the edge, sets the table a little bit. I think it's going to get better for Christian McCaffrey. And so even if he goes from averaging 53 yards a game, which is kind of what he's averaging right now, to averaging 65, I mean, that's a 1,000-yard rushing season right there. So.
Alternatively, did you guys see the stat today that put out Saquon Barkley's on pace for 908 rushing yards? Like, that offense is broken. They can't pass the ball. They can't run the ball. Like, I don't know what the hell. Or they just don't run the ball. I think he only had like 9 carries versus the Broncos. I saw something crazy like that. I could be wrong. Maybe it was 9 second half carries. That would make more sense. But either way, everybody's pissed off. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, going to be the only players to request a trade from the 4-1 team or something crazy like that. We got another super chat from our guy Sean. You think we get anybody by the trade deadline? You're my guy, Matt. I just like ribbing you. Do you think Stout is a liability? What about Jordan James? Be blessed. I think we get someone. I don't know who. Probably not a Hendrickson. Probably more of a Arden Key type player. But knowing the 49ers, what's up?
Barkley had 6 carries in that game.
6 carries for.
Thank you.
But he averaged 5 yards per carry. It was 6 for 30.
Yeah. And they just never went back to him.
Nope.
That is absolutely insane for Barkley to only get 6 carries in the game. Now he did. So the 9 number that you had, he had 3 receptions for 55 yards.
There you go.
That is nuts for Saquon Barkley to have 9 touches in a football game.
Yeah.
That's pitiful. And
on a game they were
by
up
the way,
17-3.
That's what I was going to say.
Too.
Yeah, they were up 17-3 going into the third quarter. That is absolutely insane to me.
That's prime Saquon Barkley time. Feed the ball and the game, go home.
Yep. Wow.
Well, that's what happens when you have a trash quarterback.
Do you guys think that the 49ers get anybody? I know we'll talk about more later, but just to answer this.
I think there's an outside shot. But here's the thing. You need somebody to trade with. And like people are already like, oh, why aren't we doing anything? And it's like, well, you need people to trade with. And it's week 5, guys. Like nobody's going to trade anybody until, you know what I mean? Like it's got to be, the Browns notwithstanding, right? But in a rare position player for position player swap, 2 corners getting swapped for each other. But that's the Browns. They never do anything normally. You typically not going to see like pass rushers being traded unless it's somebody that, doesn't want to stick around or it's a losing team or something like that. Maybe keep an eye out for like a Kayvon Thibodeau or somebody like that at the deadline.
So I think that so it's not that I think. We know that the Niners are calling around. Kyle has said as much for the last 2 weeks. John Lynch said as much when he spoke on I want to say it was KNBR. They are calling around. They're always playing the phones. I think the issue that the Niners are facing right now is, do we go after an edge guy for a pass rusher, or do we go after an interior guy to stop the run and has a little bit of pass rush ability? There's so many injuries on this defensive line. You can't trade to fix it all, right? We don't have a good edge pass rusher, period. We don't even have a good edge run stopper, right? It's kind of like, it's by committee right now. And so Mykel Williams, who I think would be better suited as a defensive tackle, is playing a lot of edge snaps, right? And he can do that. Cool. But that's not necessarily his strength. I think he was brought in here to be interior when you have Huff and Bosa on the outside. Now you remove Bosa and you kind of hit the shuffle button on the entire defensive line. Then you think, okay, YGM is back in the mix. We can put him back inside. And all of a sudden, nope, now he's gone also, right? And so it's like, as soon as you get ready to make a trade for somebody, you lose another person at the opposite position. So now it's like, well, maybe that position jumps back at the top. And the truth is, you're not going to make 3 trades for the defensive lineman. So you got to find 1, maybe 2, One guy you're going to probably end up spending a third on. The other guy you're hoping to do like one of those swap picks, kind of like how Cleveland, not Cleveland, Flacco with the Bengals. Who did they trade with?
Yep. Cleveland.
Oh, it was Cleveland. Yeah, yeah. Right. Like that was a pick swap. It was 6 and 5 and the quarterback, right? Like you're hoping for one of those late kind of things that you can do, and you're probably going to also have to give up a third if you want a second person. But then it's like, all right, if we do that, are we committing all of that attention to just the defensive line? And so we kind of like have to see as these guys are getting better. I like that they're not rushing into it. The trade deadline is November 4th. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 more weeks before we have to really like dig our feet in. 3 weeks, actually. We've got 3 more weeks before we have to dig our feet in to make a definitive answer. Maybe give these guys just one more game to play together, maybe 2 games, and see, all right, you know what? If we move this guy inside, we can probably get by with getting just an edge guy. Or if we move this person outside, we can probably get by with an interior guy. We have to do a little bit more assessment of the defensive line before we just go out there and pull that trigger. Because not for nothing, I think the Niners are kind of regretting trading for Brian Robinson. Not that he's not a good player, but this guy is getting Saquon Barkley type touches. 6 a game tops.
To be honest, he's not a good player. Not for us.
Well, right. Well, I mean, but he's also not getting a ton of touches, right? Like he's a guy that gets going with the more touches that he gets. And I'm only saying that because he's someone that I've liked since the draft. And then after he got shot and all that, I started watching and rooting for him. He's one of those guys that he takes time to get going. Almost. This is going to sound bad, and I'm not comparing him to Christian McCaffrey, but we've seen Christian McCaffrey 3-yard run, 3-yard run, 1-yard run, 7-yard run, boom, 27-yard run, right? He's kind of like that. And so with him not getting the consistent carries, he's not going to be able to do that. He's not one of those guys that you can put in there like how Garindo was, where on his 3rd carry, he's going to bust a 15-yarder. He's not that kind of guy. He doesn't have the what's the word? Chemistry with our offensive line yet. He's still getting used to it. And then every time we think he's getting used to it, you've got a shuffle on the offensive line. Brindle goes down, and then now you're bumping Colby in there, and then George Kittle goes down, so now he's not running behind that tight end. You just can't get used to it. So it's rough. I think that they're kicking themselves for jumping on that trade so early. And now you're deactivating, to Sean's comment, they're deactivating Jordan James. And it's like, dude, like we haven't even seen this guy, and he's a healthy scratch every game. You know, like we didn't necessarily have to go out there and get Brian Robinson. So now they're going to be extra careful with this next trade target.
All I'll say is I don't want to see 4 defensive tackles rushing the passer. Get a goddamn edge please, man. Please get an edge that can come in here and actually bend the corner, get off the snap. Bryce Huff-like speed. We can't have 4 Jordan Elliott's out there, rushing the passer. Nobody's going to get home. They're just going to be there sitting like a bunch of idiots trying to hump a doorknob. Nothing's going to happen. We got another super chat from our guy, Scotty D. Good point on defense. We can't forget they are young. We'll make mistakes. Still roster holes, but the future's so bright, you got to wear shades.
Wow, kudos to you, because I did not know what Rouser was supposed to be. Good job.
Thankfully, he commented after.
Roster. Okay.
Yeah. These look like some hits on these roster classes in back-to-back years, which the 49ers desperately needed to replenish this roster. And I saw here, keep an eye on, the Jets, the Dolphins, some teams that
right, Chubb or Phillips, you know what I mean?
Yeah, ready to punt on the year and maybe willing to make a deal with the Niners. We'll see. I still think it's too early, Matt. I think you made the point, or maybe it was Mike, that the trade deadline is for another 3 weeks. What basically punting or trading these players away is punting on your year. It's admitting that let's wrap it up. We're not doing anything special this year. And I still think even for the worst of teams out there, it's too soon for them to do that. Okay, one last super chat here. Delvin Thomas. Thank you very much, Delvin. Sean is the NBN super chat champion, just to let y'all know. That's right. And Sky D Huff was a great get. Looking back now with the benefit of hindsight, imagine if Bosa went down and we didn't have Huff. I mean, he's become our de facto number 1 pass rusher. So very, very.
Has he really done anything? Never mind.
He's had a sack. I want to say he's had a sack in each game that Bosa's been out, hasn't? No, we didn't get to. He's had 1 sack. Right.
I was gonna say I thought he's only had 1 so far, but all right.
Huff
better than nothing. 1 since Bosa went out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if that's your only pass rushing threat, then why wouldn't you chip and double team him every time he was on the field? because he's a speed guy. He's not a power guy. So if you can bump him off his line, you're making him work harder to get to the quarterback. So, yeah.
It's tough to say Garetto's a disappointment when they don't even use him.
No, it's not. That dude sucks.
I
How can I trust you to run behind a porous offensive line that lets people through if you can't even run to the open space on the field when you're returning kicks? He has no fucking vision at all.
That's not fair. I think I'm with Zach. I don't think that, because a kick returner and running back are two very different things. And he was more than serviceable as a running back. You know, like I think I do get what you're saying. You're talking about his vision, right? That's what you're talking about, Matt. When you say that, right?
It's not just that; it's decisions with like where he's going and things like that. Like I just don't. And on top of that, he's another running back the 49ers have drafted that just doesn't stay healthy because he's had a litany of injuries as well.
Me. And I think that's why they go out and draft the guy.
And
like
he
Jordan
can't
James.
block. He can't pass block.
Yeah. And so if you put him out there on the field, you're kind of telling your hand, right? Like he is the hand giveaway, because you can get good blocking out of Christian McCaffrey, you can get good blocking out of Robinson. Once he's out there, it's like, guys, like there's no way this is a pass play. Like we're not putting our quarterback in harm's way, especially without Kittle out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you're kind of telling your hand. And so he's just not going to get out there until that offensive line improves. He's not. He can't.
Yeah.
I think he had flashes last year as the number one runner after both Jordan Mason and Christian McCaffrey went down. But I still think he's kind of like the back, just like Mike said, you got to give him some carries. And I don't, has he even had a single carry this year?
I don't think so.
Correndo?
Yeah.
No.
I'll pull up his stats. And by the way, Huff has 3 sacks on the year. So, I mean, he's doing, you know, better than what I thought he was.
3 in 5 games is not too bad. That trends to just about 10.
Yeah. So that's not bad at all. I mean, that's
not bad.
literally what he was brought in for.
Yeah.
Everyone was saying that, you know, he's a 10-sack guy in Robert Sala's system. He's right there. He's ready to do it. This year he has 0 rushing attempts for 0 yards, yet somehow they have him as 5 yards an attempt. I don't know how the fuck they got that number.
That's his kick return numbers, bro.
Yeah, that is that what that is? Because this is terrible.
I mean, it's a joke, but it's just about.
If you pull up his Pro Football Reference, it says rush 0, yard 0, and then it says Y/A, which is rushing yards per attempt, and it says 5. How
is that just career?
Is that career? Yeah, number? Maybe that's career.
His career number yards per attempt is 5. Okay, good call.
Yeah. The dude averaged 5 yards a carry.
Yeah, he did. He was.
That's
good.
Because he got like 20 carries, and 2 of them he broke outside for like huge gains.
I'd take it.
We need it. We haven't had any.
You really think that's going to happen behind the? You mean to tell me that you must buy into the Christian McCaffrey is washed thing then? Because if you think Christian McCaffrey can't find the hole and get to where he needs to go, that this fucking chuckle fuck is going to do it, like you're crazy.
I think it's a speed thing. I think it's a speed issue.
Christian McCaffrey can't get to the edge as fast.
Quicker at.
No, short area quickness. Christian McCaffrey's plenty fast. It's just breakaway speed he doesn't have.
He can't get to the edge as fast. It's like short area. Like if you're navigating through traffic, the nod goes to Christian McCaffrey all day.
Do we want to pull up? Do we want to pull up the pass block loss or the run block loss rate that Zach had up earlier? If they're giving up almost 20% run blocking like loss rate or whatever, then nobody's getting behind that line. And it's not just McCaffrey. Brian Robinson's not averaging well either on the carries that he's gotten.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody is.
It's the rushing attack. It's the blocking. I mean, we shouldn't blame any of these backs back there. Like they're not opening up holes for him. Period.
Like thinking that a worse player is going to do well just because they're fast is like a fool's errand. If that was the case, then you know, why didn't the Bengals just put John Ross as a running back and just send him to the edge every time? Like, it's not really how football works, you know?
But let me not speak for Zach, but we've seen one guy get to the edge. Like they don't really run tosses to Christian McCaffrey, right? It's always a handoff, and then he has to make a read, right? If you get Garendo out there and they
run tosses to Christian McCaffrey.
I would like to see a couple.
They have not been good. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
They've not been
and
good.
it's because he's the one that's back there. Like teams are like, well, let's make sure we take him out early, and then we'll worry about what's happening on the back end if it happens to be a pass. If it's Garindo in there, you
I
might
mean,
get a
I've
little bit
also
different
seen them
coverage.
run towards Trent Williams' side, and he falls on his fucking stomach because he's so bad. So it's like McKivitz is bad, Williams is bad, fucking Colby has been horrific. Brendel is Brendel, who also sucks. Right? You got Pooney, who's not playing at the level he was last year. So, like, what do they really have to? Who the fuck is blocking? You know what I mean?
And
No
how
one,
much do you guys
clearly.
credit Kyle saying that they're playing too high? And so what that means is that we're not getting the big runs, right? Like Kyle is saying, and this is what I want to ask you guys. Kyle is saying we're blocking just as good as we were last year. The difference is we're not playing against single high. So you break one tackle once you get past where we block, and you can get some extra yards out of it. They're playing too high, so they're coming down the box. Do you guys
I
buy
believe that
like,
if
as the
any
reason?
of their running backs were averaging over 4 yards to carry, but they're not.
Yeah, they don't even get to the box most
Yeah,
of the
like
time.
you're not even getting to linebacker depth before you're getting crushed.
Yeah.
So
You're lucky if you
I
get
don't know
back to
about
the
that.
line. I mean, it seems
Yeah.
like 1 out of 7 carries, they're getting tackled
I
behind
don't know,
the line.
man. Like, I don't know.
It's possible this is just something that still needs to gel, right? I mean, obviously it does, but like the offensive line, you put Connor Colby in there, who had a good first game versus the Saints, and then has kind of gone downward since. Jake Brendel is, I think I saw his grade today. I think he's better versus the run than in pass, or maybe it's vice versa. I forget which it was.
Man, I can't with these PFF grades anymore,
McKivitz
man.
is your
They're
best.
so stupid.
Trent Williams has taken a step back. It's just an ugly line to try and get anything behind.
Yeah. It's like as bad as we thought the line was last year, it's worse this year. Like it's demonstrably worse. Like we've gotten 2 quarterbacks killed because of this line already. Know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to have to see Adrian Martinez putting his helmet on to try to fucking warm up. You know, and it's game 5. It's fucking game 5.
It's game 5, and we're 4-1.
And he's like,
and
well, it's game 6 now, but I'm saying in game 5, like Adrian Martinez at one point was like warming up to like go in the game. It's like, God, I don't want to see that. Why? It's because this line can't block for anybody.
And I still think it says a lot that the Niners have the record that they have, minus the rushing yards, minus the wide receivers. Like, forget the yards for a second with who we're distributing the ball to. Like, none of these guys are starters. And we're still 4-1 right now. The best record in the NFC, well, tied with, 3 or 4 other teams. And we own all the tiebreakers. Like, we would literally be the 1 seed if the playoffs started today, which is absolutely phenomenal, right? Only loss is to a outer conference team, right? But there was a stat that I saw from the Niners game, and it was that how many rushing attempts that we had, right? Christian McCaffrey had 22 attempts. The team ran the ball. How many times was it? It was almost 30, right? Hold on, let me see. Christian McCaffrey had 22 rushing attempts. Robinson had 5. That's 27. I'm not going to count Mac Jones. We did one play with Sky, so that's 28. And then Kyle Juszczyk also had one. That's 29, right? For a team that's averaging less than 3 yards a carry, that is a phenomenal stat. And Kyle attributed it to that's just how good we're doing on keeping it third and short, right? Like we're doing something really, really well, and we're converting a lot of thirds down this year, which we weren't doing last year. Last year, the Niners were in the bottom half of the league on converting third downs. We were less than 50%. This year, we are above 50% in every game, I think, except one. And that's saying something, right? Like we can continue to keep the ball moving. We're staying on the field. We're sustaining drives, and we're winning this thing the rough way. Like we sound super negative, and this team is showing that they're better than what the roster indicates that we are. We're not blowing teams out. We're not a top 5 power ranking team. We're not a top 10 power ranking team, in my personal opinion, either, right? But we're finding ways to go out there and get it done. And the question becomes, how do we do it against the Buccaneers, right? Like, how do we go out there against a team with a solid defense, a respected defensive coordinator? How do we go out there and slow that offense down? And they have a guy who is literally an MVP candidate right now in Baker Mayfield. What do the Niners do? How do we go out there and do it?
Yeah. And
quick
by the way,
passes.
not for nothing, again, with the Christian McCaffrey thing, I don't think it's a Christian McCaffrey problem. I really do think it's a blocking problem because he's number 6 in the NFL in receiving yards right now. 6th. So like when he's catching the ball, he's doing shit with it. You know what I mean? Like you have to go down to Bijan Robinson at 35th to get to the next running back on the receiving yards list. So like he's cooking there. So it's like, it's not like he's completely washed. Otherwise that would show up in the passing game too. But it's so weird to see like a team that has traditionally been one of the more physical teams in the NFL, pound the rock type of team, a Shanahan offense where they love to run the ball and they're usually really good at running the ball, and they're doing everything with smoke and mirrors and can't run the ball for shit. You know what I mean? Like we're actually one of the like higher passing teams in the NFL in terms of passing yards. So it's a very interesting juxtaposition of where they normally are. And I think a lot of that has to speak to the fact that they haven't been healthy. And I do think there's something to winning these ugly games, doing things that you don't really do well, or you're not playing very well, because when people do start coming back and we start getting reinforcements, that does bode well, especially for the younger players, to be able to grind through. But right now it's just odd. This has been a really weird season, guys.
Yeah, it has been, and we've talked about it, and it seems like every recap show, the 4 games the 49ers have won are the exact type of games they lost last year. They are typically not good in these close games, or hadn't been good, I should say, in these close games, but they found ways to win them this year in like miraculous ways. Going back to that fumble on Thursday night, like what are the chances that happens? The Rams were driving down the field all the way down to the 1, and Alfred Collins happens to punch out the ball. It's not anything that any of us predicted, even if any of us thought they'd be good this year. So it's a little upside down, I guess you could say, and not the norm when it comes to a Kyle Shanahan offense. Matt, like you said, a Kyle Shanahan offense can't run the ball, yet is like first. I think they were first going into Thursday night. I don't know what the stat is now. First in passing offense, averaging like 275 a game. I mean, that number only went up. Mac Jones had 342 Thursday night. You have all the injuries. By the way, I missed this earlier. Apparently, the 49ers said they don't expect to have Ricky back Sunday, which is a bummer. I thought he was coming back for sure. Apparently, he's going to miss his second straight game. The 10 days of rest isn't enough. Still dealing with that knee injury.
Like I said, I don't want to say that they're punting on a game, but I think they're looking at reading the tea leaves a little bit and being like, let's just get everybody healthy.
So after this game, I believe they have the Falcons. At home on Sunday night. So maybe they feel like that's the one they want to be healthy for and return a lot of these players. George Kittle, it was also kind of floated that he may be back for this game versus the Bucs, because this is the soonest he can come back from IR. And then it's like, oh, nope, he's still a week away. Bummer. I guess we'll see. I don't know. Do you have an opinion on Malik Mustafa and who he should replace when he comes back? There's kind of a debate going on social media right now, flipping to the defense.
It should be Siegel.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it should be Siegel, mainly because I've heard Siegel's name too much. So
true.
Again, I think it's a situation of, the other starting safety is Jason Pinnock, and I haven't really heard his name at all. And that's because, one, he's not making any big plays, but he's also not making any big mistakes. And so when you look at it, Siegel is raw, especially in coverage, and you can kind of alleviate some of that with Mustafa. All of the safeties kind of have a similar skill set, so I don't think there's a wrong answer to it. But I think you gotta take some pressure off the rookie and allow him to learn a little bit. But I did love the Mustafa quote. Did you see the quote when someone was like, you coming back from the knee injury, is that going to make you hesitate? Are you still going to be able to play with the same ferocity that you did last year? And basically he was like, well, I didn't have surgery on my brain.
I did. So, I did see that quote.
It's he's like, no, I'm still going to go out there and kick ass. So, I didn't answer you earlier, Tommy Huxley. Yes, I have lost some weight. Just so you're aware. My man Zach has lost some weight. We're all trying to be healthier people.
That's right. That's right. Big Daddy Niners question Zach, Matt, and Mike. Why doesn't Kyle use the guy as a wide receiver? I don't know if you're talking about Garendo, maybe. I don't know if the skills necessarily translate. Now McCaffrey, I can see McCaffrey transitioning to a slot receiver.
Well, I mean, they motion him out to the slot anyway.
Right,
so.
right. Maybe in a couple. It could be that like old corner transition to safety textbook that always happens. Maybe McCaffrey could transition to slot receiver in the back end of his career before he wraps it up. Maybe extends his career by a few years. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Mustafa should replace Siegel and kind of allow Siegel to be sprinkled in and get up to speed slowly, maybe take less off his plate. And Pinnock has played pretty well for the most part. And I see they just had him mic'd up for that Thursday night game. He's providing kind of a veteran leadership in that secondary that's desperately needed. Mike, I don't know if you have a thought on who Mustafa should replace out of the two of Pinnock and Siegel.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough, right? I was watching the mic'd up segment that they did with Pinnock for the last game, and I took two things away from it. His veteran presence is very much needed on the field and even on the sideline, right? I saw him coaching up Siegel. Hey, like, just do what we're taught. Like, stay with your fundamentals. Don't, overextend yourself. Like, just stay in the play and do what you're supposed to do. Everything is going to work out, right? And I love that about him, right? But then when they went to, like, the highlights and the game plays, this guy does not like the tackle. He doesn't like the hit. He doesn't want to get dirty, right? And then when you look at Siegel, it's the exact opposite, right? Like, mentally, he's making some errors, right? But he's physical as fuck, right? He wants to get downhill. He wants to make the hit on that 4th and 1. He was the guy that pushed the pile backwards to make sure Kyron Williams didn't fall forward, right? He's the guy that came flying in to make that big hit. And so it's like damned if you do and damned if you don't. I don't think Malik Mustafa is going to bring that veteran presence and mindset to the team. So what I would do is, and unfortunately you can't have all three of them out. Well, you could have certain packages for it. You could have all three of them out there, and maybe that's what they end up doing, and they kind of take Jair Brown out of those packages and put the three of them in there, which is cool and all. But overall, you're only going to have two safeties out there. I think what I would do for now is take Siegel out. To make sure Malik is where you need him to be mentally, because both of those guys, Malik and Siegel, are very much downhill guys, right? I think both of those guys play the best when the play is in front of them and they don't have to run and drop back into deep coverage. I know I get a lot of flack for when people say that I'm wrong, but I don't trust Siegel when he has to run behind him and make a play. 90% of the time, the receiver ends up getting between him and the back of the end zone. And so they're open for those targets. That's what I see, right? And I'm no film junkie. I don't sit there and break down the all 22s every single game or anything like that. But what I see when I watch the games and I do the rewatches, that's what I'm seeing. Like, he keeps the receiver between himself and the ball and the quarterback. That's not good. I need someone to be next to them, right near them, but I'm talking about there's always a gap there. And so you want to make sure that there's someone there on the field keeping him lined up the right way. If you got Pinnock on the sideline, you're not going to get that. The flip side to it is you want Siegel to continue to get better, and he's only going to get better by reps. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I say keep a healthy three-man rotation going, especially because it's Malik Mustafa's first game back. He shouldn't play more than 40% of the snaps. He shouldn't. Like, work him in there slowly, and then let us go ahead and make a decision based off of 2 or 3 games of film time and see who the top 2 guys are. Let them play it out that way.
Very well said. I just want to give a quick shout out to Eddie Dinero, NFC Special Teams Player of the Week, 4 for 4 on field goals, including a career long of 59-yarder, which leads me to
Can I play it?
Please.
Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?
Eddie Pinheiro is the dog, man. The dog of the NFC Special Teams players. Let's go. Sorry.
Brings me to this chart. Baby steps, guys. Baby steps. The 49ers are no longer dead last in expected points on special teams. Gosh, I hate that image viewer on X. We are now 20th, baby, at negative 1.1. Still in the red. Still in the red. Look at the Saints. Negative 32.2. Just insane.
So this is
Go ahead.
It's a
Help me
much
understand
bigger
here.
improvement than last year.
but expected points on special. We haven't given up any points on like what, and we even got blocks
It's
and
net.
misses. So
It's a total net, I believe, right?
it says expected points. So if a team is in field goal range, hear me out. If a team is in field goal range, let's say it's 0-0. A team, our opposing team is in field goal range and they miss the field goal. Shouldn't we be +3 and not -3? Like we stopped them, so that's a +3 in our favor. How are we negative? We haven't missed any extra points. No, we did
We've
miss
given
one
up
extra point.
touchdowns on special teams.
But it's expected special teams points.
We don't
Oh.
expect
No,
to
it's
give
not.
up a
No, it's
touchdown.
not special
We gave
teams.
up-
No, it's not.
We gave up
special teams.
touchdowns on special teams.
No. You're misunderstanding the stat. It's special teams expected point. So it's the outcome of what the special teams play was. It's not necessarily points specifically to special teams. If you give up a big return and the offense or your defense starts the field in negative territory, then that's an expected point value based off of the starting field position of the opposing team.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up for me. Because I'm sitting here like our special, and like I was gonna say, I don't think our special team has given up any touchdowns. I could be wrong.
We did. Gave up
We
that
did.
punt return versus Jacksonville.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, so okay. So that one there, because I was gonna say we definitely haven't missed any kicks except that extra point. Eddie Pinero's first kick as a 49er.
Yeah.
That was the only one, and he has drilled literally every field goal since then. So I was like, how are we -1? But okay, that
Now
makes sense, guys.
remember, the Moody misses also count towards this statistic
True.
from
true.
week 1.
he also only missed one though. He also only missed one.
Didn't he? Oh, he missed 2. He,
He
had
missed
one
two.
No, he
blocked.
didn't.
Yeah,
That you guys count that again. Okay,
that
that's true.
counts.
Well, it counts
you're right,
against
you're
this- Yeah.
Yeah, that counts.
You're right.
So, Ellis. Here, let me answer his question because
How the fuck does a team get -32.2? Jesus Christ! Like what the
The Saints
how?
are ass, bro.
Multiple touchdowns on kickoff returns.
Yeah, but look at
maybe.
the Bucks. The Bucks are trash too on
Yeah.
special teams.
Well,
Let's
they had
go
that-
out there and
Yeah, they had that kick blocked and returned by the Eagles, I'm pretty sure, right? Or no, the Jets.
Yeah.
The Jets.
It was the Jets. Yeah, the other green team.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Matt, were you saying something?
Ellis was asking.
Answer his question, Matt.
Yeah, I know. What did you listen? I track everything I eat and I work out all the time. That's
What
been
was the
truth.
question? I didn't.
Tracking
see it.
is so important. Losing
What
weight.
did I do to lose weight? Working out, whatever.
I lost about 50 pounds a couple years ago, and I tracked everything religiously. And it was literally the second I stopped tracking, you just slowly start.
Yeah,
to
man.
gain it
Everybody
back.
thinks they can intuitively eat, but
Yeah,
you would be shocked by like how calorically dense some
Yeah.
things are.
And the stat is you overestimate what you eat by 500 calories a day, at least.
Right.
At least. So.
I realized today, right before the show started, that I hadn't eaten any real food. I had 3 Reese's throughout the course of the day and a half a bag of sunflower seeds, which is bad because my blood pressure is usually high, like I'm on blood pressure medication. But
Yeah.
that's all I had all day long. Now, I will say this. I don't know if you guys can see the size of this thing here. My Icelandic water. This is my 3rd one of the day. And this isn't counting like me drinking water at work. Like I drive to work and I consume one. I got an hour drive. I
Nice,
drive
nice.
home and I drank one at bowling. But when I get to my office, when I take my empty one and I refill it there. But this is like my 3rd actual bottle of water today. And this is, how many ounces is this?
This is half gallon.
50.7. Yeah, so like, you know what I'm saying? So like I've had 3 of these plus other water. I don't think losing weight is hard for anybody. I think maintaining it after you lose it is where people tend to struggle.
I also think that losing weight while just like to put it out there or whatever, I've lost about 75 pounds, but I put on about 15 pounds of muscle. So
This is a beautiful
Awesome.
thing.
It's-
by the
it's
way. That's a beautiful
purposeful. It's very purposeful, and it's really hard to do. Like I eat 200 grams of protein a day, like every fucking day, and getting that from Whole Foods is almost impossible. Like I have to use, protein
Shakes.
powder and shit like that. Like I would have to eat so much fucking chicken.
Yeah, yeah.
I eat a lot of
Not that
nuts,
I don't like
pause.
chicken, because I can figure out a way to do chicken like any day of the week. But it's part of the problem that you get with like a lot of the like GLP-1s or whatever, is that people will just take the GLP-1 and they won't track what they're eating. They won't intake enough protein, and they're not working out. So a lot of that metabolic wasting is muscle. It's muscle tissue. So you're losing a lot of muscle as well as fat, And so then you run into the problem of being skinny fat. So you don't want that either, right? Like you have to go and you have to challenge. And especially this is particularly important for women who are like postmenopausal, because if you take like a GLP-1 like Ozempic or tirzepatide or retatrutide or anything like that, and you're not eating enough calories, it will actually demineralize your bones. Yeah. It will take calcium from your bones, and your women are already at risk for osteoporosis. So you have to be very, very careful. It's not like everybody looks at it as like a miracle drug. It's a tool in the toolbox, but like you can't fix an engine with a fucking hacksaw. Like that's not how that works. You know what I mean? And essentially Ozempic is just like an appetite hacksaw. It just like makes you not hungry, but you have to be purposeful with like everything that you do. Intake enough protein, make sure that you're lifting heavy weights so that your body doesn't want to waste. If you're using your muscles, your body goes, oh, we need to keep that. Like we need to keep this for the strength purposes. The bot, he's using it, like, or she's using it. We need to keep that there. And then you get more into the pure like fat loss. You just have to be very, very careful with that. So high protein, lots of water, cut out like bullshit calories, track your food, and then work out, lift weights. And not just like cardio, like lift weights, do challenging, lift heavy stuff. So I just the other day threw up 3 plates, so 315-pound bench press. And, like for someone my age, for someone of any age, it's pretty incredible. But at 43, like throwing up 315 pounds is pretty good. So
you're 43?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
When did you get older than me? How old's your oldest daughter, by the way?
2.
We were
2,
both
so I started late.
Yeah.
I thought
started late.
4.
Yeah, I started late.
I thought 3. Okay.
No, she's 2. She turned 2 in August, and then I have a just about to be 6-month-old.
Wow.
Yep.
Good shit, man. Congrats, man. Stick around for those babies, man. I saw someone there say my advice is to not get old. No, fuck that. Because the opposite.
I mean, you can't help it.
Alternative is dying
age gracefully.
Young, so. Yeah, that's it.
And
right
by the
there.
way, Scotty D said, as testosterone metabolism start to diminish, dude, I've seen 70-year-olds come in and get testosterone tests, and they have like fucking 800 testosterone. It's fucking crazy.
Is that high or low for those of us that don't know what the fuck
high?
Very,
high.
very high.
For a 70-year-old, that's ridiculously high.
That's high for like a 30-year-old.
I mean, it's normal range. If you're 30 and you know.
It's on the high, from what I was told, so the higher end of normal.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go Team 43, says David Rooks. Calisthenics is Amin Morris. All right. Let's wrap this show up. It's getting late. Mike, it's especially late for you. Any final thoughts on this before we get into our predictions?
When you say this, what do you mean?
The game. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Matchup.
So, yeah.
I have one more thought on the nutrition stuff. Just a crazy stat.
Well, yeah, let's finish that up first. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, so what I was saying that people, like we were talking about, Zach, track your food because you underestimate or overestimate things. People go, oh, quinoa's healthy, right? 2 cups of quinoa is 500 calories. Do you know what you can eat in terms of like good food for less than 500 calories? For 380 calories, you can eat 8 strips of bacon, dude. Like, give me the bacon all day. Fuck the quinoa.
Yeah.
I'm not eating.
But what about the fat in the bacon, like the oils and the grease?
What do you mean?
Like,
what's wrong with fat?
What do you mean? No, I'm asking because people are going to hear you say bacon and they're going to associate. Like when I put my bacon in the pan, because I don't like the turkey bacon like my wife does.
Sure.
I like the pork bacon, right?
Yeah.
I see an empty pan filled with grease as soon as I put my strips of bacon in there.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what's up with that? Like the fat. I mean, the grease can't
really
be good
matter
for you, right? No.
Why is it
clogged
arteries?
arteries?
Healthy fats.
Doesn't
Why
it
is it
clog
good or
your
bad?
arteries? I'm asking. I don't know. No. Okay.
No. Not necessarily.
Well, then fuck it. Give my.
By the way,
you
a lot of
my life from now on. I'm putting mad bacon on everything.
Listen,
now.
like anything can put like can clog your arteries, but it's not. This dietary cholesterol does not translate to blood cholesterol, which is where you have to worry about, clogged arteries and things like that. much more responsible is going to be heavily processed foods, your weight, your genetic history. But if you go out there with pork bacon and you're getting unsaturated fats, and that's not necessarily a bad thing for you. And a lot of the villainization of saturated fats and meat in general was paid for by the sugar industry. So, you got to watch out for that stuff.
I, from now on, am having bacon wrap salad because Matt said it was okay. 8 strips, baby. No, I'm kidding. You guys, please, everything, just be responsible with what you guys are doing and make sure you do some research. I think Matt is dropping dimes over here. He's dropping really good knowledge.
I'm telling you, the low sodium bacon from Kirkland, and I only get low sodium because my wife has hereditary high blood pressure. So that's definitely a thing. Like if you don't take in, I eat 4,500 milligrams of sodium a day. Like who gives a shit? I don't, I'm not puffy. I don't have any edema or anything like that. I work out like crazy, so I need the extra electrolytes. But 8 strips of that. It's 380 calories and 28 grams of protein.
Let me ask you one more question really quick because I think this water is turning my urine really, really dark. Now, I do take a multivitamin every day, but what is pH 8.4 on these Icelandic waters? So I am
It just means that it's alkaline water.
Water.
Can I just tell you that is the biggest hunk of bullshit ever, is that alkaline water?
Well, no, I don't get it because it's alkaline. I get it because it's spring. If you give me spring water,
the
not
pH
purified
doesn't,
and all that shit.
You'd have to drink so much of that water to even come close to budging your internal pH. Your body really wants homeostasis, and it will stay within a certain range, like pH range.
Okay.
Oh,
so this is not turning my urine
7.35 to 7.45 or something like that, and it's so hard. And that's almost as close to neutral pH as you can get. 7 is neutral, so we're slightly alkaline, but it's dude.
But so this isn't what's turning my urine
what
dark
vitamins
yellow.
What vitamins are you taking?
I take a Centrum's Mittens 1 a day.
Well, some of those are over 100% of your daily doses, aren't they? Or some of them 140% vitamin C.
I take it at the same time I take my cholesterol and blood pressure medicine. I take them all at the same time every day.
I know vitamin
what do you
B
eat?
always makes me pee like crazy yellow.
Right.
You saying dark, what color?
My urine
We're a
is
medical podcast now, guys.
I know, right? Sorry, we are getting way off topic. It's just yellow. It's like a
dark yellow.
It's not this dark. Like you see that gold. It's not quite that dark, but maybe like the trim on the border here, like that. Maybe like that. It's a little bit lighter than what that is there. Now I will say this:
you sweat a lot?
I drink. No, I don't. I used to. Before I lost my weight, I used to sweat. I used to think about moving and start sweating. So it was bad.
See, back when I was super fat, I never sweat. Now I sweat all. I'm sweating all the time, right? Well, I mean, I work out like crazy, so my metabolism's higher.
Yeah, no, it takes a lot for me to sweat now that I think about it. It takes a lot for me to sweat. I used to sweat a lot all the time. Now I don't know what it is, but I can do a lot.
Honestly,
I used to sweat like bowling. You only roll once or twice and then you go and sit down. I used to have a fan to keep me cool and stop from sweating. I don't get hot anymore when I'm bowling.
Are you peeing dark all day?
No, that's the weird thing. So that's
When?
what I was going to say to you. It's in the morning and then right before I go to bed.
Morning, not a surprise because all your urine's going to be concentrated after sleeping overnight and holding it in. Night, what's your water intake like? And do you front load your water?
I drink water all day long. I literally keep a bottle of water or a cup of water by my bedside, and when I wake up in the middle of the night, I drink some of it. I drink water all day long. Now, when I drink alcohol, this is going to sound weird or bad, my urine is crystal clear. I can have 1 or 2 shots, and my urine is crystal clear for the rest of the day. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know what it is.
And you take your multivitamin in the morning?
Midday. No, because I take my blood pressure medication when I eat. I only eat once, maybe twice a day, and it's because I just don't have an appetite. So when I eat, I take my medication. It's usually like a late lunch, early dinner, and that's it.
But you got to backload more water. You're just dehydrated at night.
I need more water?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. All right.
Because
I got a 5-gallon thing here of Deer Park spring water. I drink
if it was
water
medication,
all day long.
if it was medication induced, it would be like dark the whole time, or like for a particular portion of the day, and not like at the beginning and at the end.
Yeah.
So part of the reason why you pee dark in the morning is your urine's concentrated. You haven't drank anything and you haven't gone to the bathroom in 8 hours. Right.
Okay.
So at night, if your urine's darkening up, it means that either through digestion, because you're taking in like drier foods or whatever else, or not, because you take your blood pressure medicine midday. So it would reach your small intestine and absorb within an hour. And you'd probably start seeing it at 2 hours. You wouldn't be right before you go to bed.
Okay.
So.
All right. I'll up the water later on. That's cool. I don't smoke weed, guys.
But
the only thing
be
I
careful.
Smoke
Be careful. It's not
cigars.
necessarily bad if your urine's like not super clear. That's fine. It's just you don't want it to get to the point where it's waking you up in the middle of the night either, because that's not good either. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I can sleep through the night. I mean,
you're clearly okay. Yeah. See, I drink so much water, I wake up at least once to pee in the middle of the night.
Oh.
All right.
Anyway,
sorry, Matt. Sorry, Zach. I know. We.
It's all good. It's all good. I like it. I go to Matt with my medical question. Matt, I haven't shit in like 3 days. Is that an issue? And Matt would be like,
"Yes, it
is. Is that? Do you feel wrong here?
Actually,
does this hurt there?
3 days. 3 days, not necessarily. 3 days is within the normal range. Now, if you said like 3 weeks, I'd be like, "Hey, that's a problem."
Yeah,
I used to shit once a week when I was young. And then once I hit like 30, it was like daily, and I thought something was wrong with me. Like I called my doctor, like, dude, I'm shitting every day. He was like, welcome to normalcy.
Yeah, the normal range is 3 times a day to once every 3
Holy
days. That's
shit.
typically the normal
3
range.
times a day?
Who has time for that?
Some people do.
That's
I'm good
crazy.
for like 1 or 2. I'm good for 1 or 2.
That's
a lot of shit. Yeah. That's a lot of shitting. Sorry. We are way off topic here. Okay, back to the 49ers Bucks.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, this game is going to be shit, so I guess we might as well talk about it a little bit.
This episode was sponsored to you guys by Healthy Prostates.
Right. Go get yours checked. All right, let's just
right.
go to the predictions. Let's start with our offensive prediction. Matt, you're on the big screen. Who do you got for offensive player of the game?
Oh, man. I'm going to go with Eddie Pinheiro.
Oh, that's bad.
I think this is going to be field goal city for the 49ers. Yeah.
You can't. No, he said offensive player. He didn't say special teams player.
Hey, man, he scores points, right?
Yeah, but that's not. He said offensive. I'm challenging you. All right, we'll come back to you. Give me
hold on.
on the offensive side of the ball.
Hold on, wait. Let me just. I'm going to settle this right now, okay? When they calculate teams' points per game average, right? Offensive points per game. Do they count field goals in that? Do they count extra points? Okay, then it counts.
Matt, but hold on, time out. Because points per game is all. If there's a pick six, it's also points per game. Like, and the
but
defense
it's not
clearly
generated
got
by
that.
offense. It's not the offense when they say the offense generates X number of points per game. They count field goals and extra points.
Let's leave it up to the chat.
Do you want me to pick like a skill position player? Is that what you really want?
Just offensive play. No, it could be an offensive lineman. I just want a guy that lines up when we're snapping from first to third down. That's all I'm asking for.
Man.
We'll come back to you. No, think about it. Think about
Yeah,
it. We'll come back to you.
about
Come
it.
on, man.
Mike?
It's just a challenge. Just a little challenge here. My offensive player of the game is going to be somebody that I thought was going to be it last week. I am going to go with Demarcus Robinson. I saw that Kendrick Bourne was limited today. He's got an oblique injury, I believe it was on the injury report. And we know that Pearsall's not going to be playing this game, although Kyle hasn't officially announced it yet. There's not going to be a Brock Purdy. George Kittle's not in there. Christian McCaffrey's going to do Christian McCaffrey things, right? We're no longer wowed by 120 overall yards a game by Christian McCaffrey. Like, that's just nothing. We just balk at that now, right? Kendrick Bourne was the offensive player of the game last week. So I'm going to go with Demarcus Robinson. I thought that was going to be his revenge game and all that kind of shit, right? And boy, was I wrong. Like, I picked him up in all my fantasy leagues, and this guy disappointed the shit out of me. But I think that, he starts to get acclimated again. I think he gets back to his ways of what we were hearing and reading during training camp and what we saw flashes of during preseason. I think the extra reps out there with Mac Jones are going to pay dividends finally. He's going to take advantage of that beat-up secondary of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm going to go with Demarcus Robinson. Give me 7 catches. Make it 9 catches, 108 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, all right.
Let's go, baby.
All right, I'm gonna go. Then I'll go back to Matt. Come on, guys. Mac 10, Mac Jones. Give me Mac Jones. Sam Darnold feasted on this defense. Who else has feasted on this defense? I just had it up right here. I guess Jalen Hurts feasted on this defense. Did Justin Fields feast? Or no. Sorry, that was Tyrex. Fields had the concussion. I just think that their defense is there for the picking through the air. So give me Mac Jones. I'm going to say 33 of 39 for 325 and another 2 touchdowns through the air.
I mean, look, Sam Darnold had 340 plus yards, 4 touchdowns against the Bucs, right? If you want to keep looking at what the quarterbacks did as of late. So that was just the last game. The Eagles and Jalen Hurts, by the way, who had
he
no.
doesn't count. He's not
Sam
a real
Darnold
quarterback.
doesn't count.
No.
Okay,
Jalen
fine,
Hurts.
cool. Oh, but I was going to say Jalen Hurts had no passing touchdowns on the season, and he threw not 1 but 2 against the Buccaneers the week that they played them. Right, so that bodes well for you in that stat there. And then the game before that was the Jets, right? And the Jets players, Tyrod Taylor, not even their starter, or Justin Fields, also threw 2 touchdowns in that game. So I kind of like what you're going with there, man. So kudos to you, man. Mac 10, baby.
Yep.
By the way, do we all think that Mac is going to be the starter and not Purdy? He's not been
100%.
ruled out yet.
Yeah. I don't think
Purdy
he's coming
didn't
back.
practice today, so he's not going to play. You can kind of read the tea leaves and where it's going.
Cool.
I think they probably knew going into last week Purdy was going to miss multiple games. I saw the quote from Shanahan today when he was asked, had you guys considered putting him on IR? And he said, we didn't give that one thought, which if you're affluent in Kyle Shanahan means he'll probably go on IR within the next 2 to 3 days. Or they're at least strongly considering it, but we'll see. Matt, did you have an answer? Did you have a player in mind?
Jake Tonjes, 3 catches, 26 yards.
Oh God. Okay. I like the pick. I don't like the numbers, but I like the
stat
pick.
line.
No,
right?
I'll say 6 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown.
Tonjes has
And a
been a
touchdown.
pleasant surprise. Tonjes has been very
Tight end
very
too,
pleasant.
man. Like easily tight end too.
Excited to see what he can do when Kittle comes back. Matt, you are on the screen, so we'll stick with you for defensive player.
I'm gonna go with the returning Malik Mustafa.
Oh,
I think that he's gonna force a fumble. He's gonna have 7 tackles, including 1 for loss.
damn. Okay. I'm gonna go with. Or Mike, are you ready? Is it your turn? I'm gonna go with Fred Warner. Took the easy one, but I think that he has this kind of rivalry, I guess you could say, going with Baker and with Nick Bosa not being there. I think that then falls on Fred, even though Bosa's kind of said that rivalry's kind of smashed thing of the past. I mean, that was like 2019 days, 2018, but still, just for old time's sake, Fred Warner. And I think he gets the first pick for the 49ers this year, and it's not called back, unlike the Jags week. So give me Fred Warner, another 12 tackles, and a pick. Mike?
You kind of stole a little bit of my thunder, but with a different name. I'm going to go with Upton Stout. What I saw when I went back and rewatched the games, Upton Stout is baiting guys that are playing in the slot. He is baiting them. He's giving them a little bit more space, and then he's closing in really, really quickly. And I think that, like you said, that BS callback isn't going to happen like it happened against the Jaguars. I'm going to go with Upton Stout as the defensive player of the game. He's going to get a pick, and he's going to have 2 PBUs and a forced fumble. So a pick, a forced fumble. Now, the forced fumble, let me go ahead and say it, they're going to recover it. They're going to get it back, but he's going to have the pick, a couple of PBUs, and a forced fumble. So Upton Stout is my defensive player of the game.
Okay. Matt, I feel like I have a general idea of where you're going with this final score prediction, but shoot. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I think this is the one that 49ers are kind of punting on. I think they got really lucky last week against the Rams, and it's a division game. That's always weird, but this was always a tough ask. Even at the beginning of the season during training camp when we went over the schedule, this was always one that I was just like, I don't know, man. I just don't like this very much. So I think the Bucs are going to handle us pretty easily. I think it's going to be 24-13 Tampa Bay. I just think at some point backup magic is just going to run out, we just have too many backups on the field.
Okay. I think they win this one. I don't know why. I think they do. I think the Bucs have some quality wins, but they're also a little bit overrated, dare I say. If you look at their wins, they beat Atlanta by 3, Houston by 1, the Jets by 2, lost to the Eagles, and they beat the Seattle Seahawks by 3. They're kind of like a mirror image of the 49ers, to be honest with you. They've had all of their wins are within one score. All of their games, I should say, were within one score. So they're 4-1, very similar to how the 49ers got to 4-1. I think the matchup of Baker versus Robert Saleh and then Kyle Shanahan versus Todd Bowles. I think that's their coach, right? I'm getting this name. Okay. I always get him in the old, well, he is the old Jets head coach. Aaron Glenn, the new Jets head coach, mixed up. The defensive coaches.
That's racist as fuck.
Maybe it is, but the defensive coaches that were former head coaches or now are head coaches drive me crazy. So, all right. I got the Niners in this one, squeaking out a win. I got 26-24 Niners. Maybe a walk-off field goal by Eddie D. Mike?
All right. I have not had a gut feeling about this game. This is the first game I haven't had a gut feeling in. And that tells me that it's probably going to end in a tie, believe it or not. But I don't want to call that. So I'm going to say the Niners get the win, and this will be our first multi-score win game. Now, Matt, Zach, you stole a lot of what I was going to say, that the Bucs have only won their games by one score here. All of their wins have been by one score. And when I say one score, they got a 1-point win against the Bills, right? And that was in preseason. But if you go look at the regular season, they won by 3 against the Falcons, right? Then they won by 1 against the Texans. They won by 2 against the Jets. They lost to the Eagles. They won by 3 against the Seahawks, right? The Niners have been the team to close these kind of games out, except the Jaguars game, which it was even a miracle that we were within one score in that game. The Niners aren't going to have that kind of game again. I think the Niners win this game by 2 scores. I am going to say 29-20 for the Niners, 29-20, which goes back to Matt's original point of Eddie Pinheiro being the player of the game.
Right. What is that? 2 touchdowns and 5 field goals?
Right. It's going to be something crazy like that. Yeah.
All right.
So I'll take that. I'll take it.
Didn't Jake Moody, last time we were in Tampa, Jake Moody hit he missed 3, but I think he hit 3 too as well, right?
Yeah. Like it was his best game and his worst game all at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Including the game winner. We got another super chat from our guy, Scotty D. Nightcap. How about that Baker clap back to Seattle fans? Can't help but like that dude. Did you guys see him going at it with those fans in the stands?
Dude,
Yeah.
I had to retweet it. I retweeted it. I was like, I like this guy so much more. I just hate that he's going up against us now. But, fuck the Seahawks. You can't help but love that kind of energy. And the Niners are notorious for going into Seattle, grabbing a sign and ripping it. Trent Williams has done it the last 2 times he's been there. So, I love seeing people shit on Seahawks fans. And I like that. And by the way, Jerry Jones getting the penalty fine for giving the fan that was heckling him all game long the middle finger, right? I love that kind of energy from players and owners, right? Like, so, hey, you thought we were going to lose? Fuck you. Like, I like that. Yeah. He was like, you. No, not you. Move. Yeah. You. Yeah, you. Fuck you, right? Like, I love that kind of energy. So, bring that kind of energy out here. And Eddie Pinheiro is a guy that talks shit to the sideline of the opposing team. I love that about this guy. I don't know why he was available. I don't know why he was a free agent at all. I can't tell you guys why. Like, this guy has one of the highest percentages in the NFL, and he was available for the Niners to take when they needed a kicker the most. He's got a lot of swag, so let's go Niners, man. 20-29.
Okay. I love it. It's going to be a good one. We will be here Sunday after the game, so make sure you guys come and check us out. Recap with us. Tell us if we were right. Tell us if we were wrong. Want to hear it all. Share your thoughts. But I think that's going to do it for tonight's show. I smell dinner is ready for me. Mike, I'm sure the folks already know. Please let them know where to find you and where to find premium 49ers content.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this out the way, man. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. You guys see it right here at the bottom of the screen. We are live on game days. If you guys don't have Sunday ticket, if you can't happen to watch this game, I think this one, it's not quite prime time, but it's going to be out there for you guys to see. But if you're looking for somewhere, it's like a bar type atmosphere. We have such a good time in there. The chat is live. The comments are constantly going. There's me. There's Mike, NY to the Bay. We haven't had Tony on this year. He's kind of like beefing with us right now. He hasn't even texting the group chat since the season started, but Tony is always welcome to come in there. But we have a lot of fun, so make sure you guys head on to patreon.com/NB9ERS, $5 tier and up for the game day experiences. It's always a blast. If you guys are watching right now on the Nothing But Niners YouTube channel, please make sure you come and show my guys some love. You see it down there underneath Matt's name. It's right there. It says 49ers Hive. Make sure you guys subscribe to their YouTube channel. And if you guys are watching on 49ers Hive and you are not a member or a subscriber to the Nothing But Niners channel, please come over there and show us some love as well. You can even search for NBN or NB9ERS. Nothing But Niners, spell it all the way out. We pop up on all of those searches on YouTube. It took years for me to get that to happen, but you can search all three of those ways. Please come on over and show us some love as well.
That's right, guys. Check it out. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. Matt, do us the honors, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Ellis, I think gambling's illegal, but yeah, we can bet pride on it. The game. Yeah. I'm perfectly happy to be wrong because that would mean that the 49ers won. So, listen, it's, we're in Tampa. It's going to be a warm one for sure too. I don't know if we didn't even touch on that. It's supposed to be in the mid 80s, humid, and the Niners are wearing their reds for the first time this season. So that's going to be tough too. We'll see what happens. I hope the 49ers win. It's just one of those things where I'm just kind of reading the tea leaves, and I'm just like, I don't know if they're going to pull this one out. I feel like they're kind of punting on the game a little bit. We'll see, though. I've been wrong before. I'd happy to be wrong again. So with that said, for Zach, for Mike, for myself, thank you guys as always. We could not do this without you. Hopefully we're back here on Sunday afternoon talking about another 49ers win. So until then, go Niners.